Let's go. It's the weekend, and it is a great weekend at that, or I should say, the best weekend. You're gonna make of it. I've been thinking about necessity, raising necessity. This is one of the high performance habits that has been studied to correlate with high performance. Right? So, a high performer is defined as an individual who succeeds above the average over the long term, so they don't really burn out, while never sacrificing or while maintaining their health and their relationships in their life. Raising necessity is something that high performers do to get themselves to act when they do not want to act. And I didn't really put a lot of weight on this necessity habit until maybe the past 2 months or so, where I began realizing that discipline in and of itself is difficult to just have. It's hard to say, I'm going to be disciplined about this. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's difficult to do that. And so high performers, they generally don't say, I'm going to be disciplined, right? I'm going to control my mind and my thoughts. No, what they generally do is they have practices that raise the necessity to be their best self. And so they have clearly defined what success looks like in a given situation or circumstance. And they make a promise to the people that are involved in that or in their life that this is how they're going to show up, that this is how it's going to happen from now on, from here on out. So they've raised their necessity, they've made a bold promise, and now their friends, their family can hold them accountable to that standard. So from the outside, they can look incredibly disciplined. But in reality, the lever that they've pulled is that of necessity. They've made it necessary for them to be their best self, to show up and get the work done. So, a couple of examples of this. The parent who gets out of bed when the baby starts crying, which is going to be me next month, they look incredibly disciplined. But it's just necessary for them to act in that moment, in that instant. And so, this is just one example. Another is, how often have you gone to work but didn't want to go to work? Because it was necessary for you to show up. Either you had obligations to your boss, to your coworkers, you needed to make money. So you were disciplined in those instances. How often have you wanted to do something but have not done it? You were undisciplined. So an interesting outcome or thought from this is that desire really has nothing to do with long-term action. Desire is very fickle, and it's based on a function of lack. It's like if I don't have that thing, then I want it. The moment I have that thing, I generally don't want it anymore because I have it. Interesting human psychology there. But the question, though, is how do we raise our necessity? So I found that for me personally, there are kind of three main ways that I raise my necessity every day. First and foremost is I make that bold promise. And I've made that bold promise every day. I want to show up fearless, loving, and joyful every day. The mission of my life is to be a beacon of courage, love, and joy. To actively engage in every experience. To serve with the full force and excellence of my soul. So I found that I share that with people. I share that with those around me. And that raises my necessity. It's a bold promise. It's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. The next thing is, you can just ask yourself, who needs me on my A game right to fetch now? Right now. Who needs me to show up and be my best self right now? Who needs this project pushed forward? Who needs it? So we build a service mindset towards others. We say, hey, I'm doing this for them. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for them. I'm here to serve. And the last thing at the end of the day really is just building self-awareness and clarity of self. So we can hold ourselves accountable and just know what success even looks like. So we can raise our necessity to reach that. Because the moment we have clarity, we can begin working towards it. Necessity requires clarity, specificity. Like if you don't have a goal, you can't reach it. You can't move towards it because you don't have it. So building that clarity, self-awareness, really is the foundation of necessity. So, necessity, my friends. Use necessity to build discipline. Discipline is an outcome of necessity, not the other way around. So if you can find the ways to raise that necessity to act, you'll be disciplined. You'll look disciplined. But from the inside, you'll be like, nah, man, I just made some awesome promises. And here we are. I got clear. I got specific about who I wanted to be, where I wanted to go, the goals that I had. And I worked towards those. So build that necessity. Discipline will follow. If you feel that you need help building that necessity, making those bold promises, creating clarity and self-awareness, shoot me a DM. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. And if I can help you in any way that in any way that you feel will be impactful to you, shoot me a DM. I am a high performance coach. It is my job to push you